Hey everyone, it's Star Charger, the Unicorn Goddess, coming to y'all from my channel, Spoken Openly, where we say it like we mean it, and where we discuss all different types of esoteric and spiritual and scientific and quantum physics stuff. So today, this is the 8th episode in my series about the declassified CIA documents about astral travel and the holographic nature of the universe and out-of-body experiences, space-time, and many other subjects. All related to, they were studying it all because they were using astral travel and remote viewing. So we are on page 17 of 29. We are about to dive right in. So if y'all haven't seen the other episodes, if this is the first one you found, you might want to go back and watch because all the information kind of builds up on each other. Now we are at subheading 23, Absolute in Perspective. It may be helpful at this point to pause and recap the major aspects of our intellectual journey from time, space to the realm of the absolute. We have spoken at some length concerning the incredibly complex hologram which is created by the intersection of energy patterns generated by the totality of all dimensions of the universe, time, space included. We have noted that our minds constitute energy fields which interact with various aspects of this hologram to deduce information which is ultimately processed through the left hemisphere of our brains to reduce it to a form that we employ for the process we call thinking. We have implied that this hologram is the finite embodiment in active energy form of the infinite consciousness of the Absolute. It is the title we assign to that vast pool of energy in a state of perfect rest over which the physical universe is layered and from whence it comes. Incidentally, to describe this, Bentov uses the analogy of a very deep sea, comparing the still depths of the sea to the dimension of the absolute, while assigning the storm-tossed waves above to represent the physical universe with which we are familiar. The slightly agitated currents of the sea to be found in between the turbulent surface and the totally still depths represent energy in the process of either going into rest, i.e. approaching infinity, or coming out of rest. Number 24. From Big Bang to Torus, T-O-R-U-S, as in Torus field. Working from the widely accepted Big Bang theory, Bentov presents a conceptual model to depict the process of time-space evolution, the relative position of the universal hologram. That hologram is often called a, quote, torus, because it is thought to have the overall shape of an immense self-contained spiral. Basing his thesis on recent studies concerning the distribution of quasars, quasi-stellar objects, and operating on the premise that in the universe smaller processes tend to be mirror images of larger ones, i.e. the pattern of electrons around the nucleus of an atom mirrors the way planets orbit their suns, and so on. Bentov postulates the following scenario. Taking his cue from the observed capability of quasars to eject enormously concentrated beams of matter from their interiors in a controlled, non-concentric version of the Big Bang, he envisages a similar process occurring in the generation of the universe. See Exhibit 4 on the next page. Noting that those galaxies located to the north of our own galaxy are moving away faster than those located to the south, and that those to the east and west are demonstrably more distant. Bentov regards this as substantiative evidence that the jet of matter which expanded into our universe has turned back upon itself, eventually forming an ovoid or egg shape. He sees, quote, matter in our universe entering the ovoid pattern following ejection from a nucleus composed of extremely compressed energy through a, quote, white hole. At the end of its trip to the far end of the ovoid, he sees it departing via a, quote, black hole. In such a model, time is observed to be a measure of the change which occurs as energy evolves into new, more complex forms as it progresses along the distance from the white hole side of the nucleus around the shell of this cosmic egg until it enters the black hole. In other words, as energy expelled from infinity and confined within limits by the conscious of the absolute achieves form and motion following ejection from the white hole at the top of the egg, time begins as a measure of the cadence of this evolutionary movement as, quote, reality goes around the shell of the egg on its journey to the black hole at the far end. Number 25, our place in time. The observed distribution of galaxies suggests that our particular universe is located near the top of the egg at the point where matter begins to fall back on itself, thus explaining the reason why the galaxies to the north are seen to be moving away more rapidly, as they are caught up in the downturn of the stream of matter towards the far end of the cosmic eggshell. Layered over this cosmic egg is the absolute, which sustains the radiating nucleus from which the original jet of matter issued forth. As the stream of matter moves around the ovoid towards its destination at the black hole, where it will be reabsorbed into the radiating nucleus and then the absolute, it generates the interference pattern within the cosmic egg, which constitutes the universal hologram or torus. Since the torus is being simultaneously generated by matter in all the various phases of, quote, time, it reflects the development of the universe in the past, present, and future, as it would be seen from our particular perspective in one phase of time. By reflecting on this model, it becomes possible to see how human consciousness brought to a sufficiently altered or focused state could obtain information concerning the past, present, and future, since they all exist in the universal hologram simultaneously. In the case of the future, because all of the consequences of the past and present can be seen coming together in the hologram such that the future can be predicted or seen with total accuracy. Moreover, it is possible to see how the implosion of energy patterns would cross and recross to create an incredibly complex four-dimensional hologram or torus in spiral shape in reflection of the multi-dimensional developing pattern of evolution. All of the movements of the energies which comprise the universe leave their mark and hence tell their story throughout time. So he's saying that the universe is a giant torus field and that the energy is shot out of what he's calling a white hole. And as it spirals around the outer edges, which is us, we're part of that. We're spiraling around everything. All the stars and everything in this reality are spiraling around the outer edge and moving along through time and space and evolving. And then at some point when they go through the whole spiral, sucked into the black hole, back into the absolute, absorbed back in, and everything starts over or goes to a new dimension or goes back to the singularity, which is what they're calling the absolute, the infinity, the 0 point energy, God, however you may want to describe it. Which the really cool thing about this is that a lot of the things that I have seen from ancient texts from Native American traditions even, they have the spiral dance. A lot of ancient mysticism is about spirals, and it's like the path is not straight, the path is a spiral. And like for a lot of things talk about going back to the absolute. For instance, Hinduism talks about reaching nirvana, where you're in a state of bliss and one with God. Or Kabbalah talks about God is an infinite, God is an absolute source, and how you go back to the light. And so I think it's really fascinating that all these different cultures in their own way are describing something that these scientific documents are describing. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all digest this piece, and then we'll go to the next piece. So I appreciate y'all for joining me again. I am so happy that I get to be a conduit of this information. I'm delighted to bring it to y'all. I hope that y'all can receive it. Please like and share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please comment down below. Give me your feedback. I appreciate y'all so much. Much love to all my mystical, magical, wonderful, cosmic, multidimensional unicorns. And until the next time we meet, here is to your empowerment, your evolution, your enlightenment, and the expansion of your consciousness. All right, y'all. Star Charger out.